So if there's one thing Donald Trump loves to do, it's blame people for his failures. Blame people for his actions and his ideas when, in retrospect, he was a failure and wrong all along. And he's trying to do something like that on Afghanistan as it regards to Biden. He put a press release out where he said what's happening is very embarrassing. It would have never happened if he was still president. But the reality, and I'm going to show you a clip, is Trump knew exactly what was going to happen and chose to do it anyway.
I started the process. All the troops are coming back home. They couldn't stop the process. 21 years is enough, don't we think? 21 years. They couldn't stop the process. They wanted to, but it was very tough to stop the process when other things are at. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's a shame. 21 years by a government that wouldn't last. The only way they last is if we're there. What are we going to say? We'll stay for another 21 years, then we'll stay for another 50. The whole thing is ridiculous. So we're bringing our troops back home.
So you can hear Trump there say we're leaving after 21 years. It's been long enough. We know that the government will fall in weeks after we leave because the only reason they're stable is because the United States and some of their allies have a military presence in the country, in the region. If we're not there, then the government will fall, but that's too bad. We've been there too long. And so actually, I'm gonna say this, I think it's the right decision for Biden and indeed for Trump to leave Afghanistan. You can't stay there forever. You might say they could have done it differently. You might say they could have gotten, some of the people, refugees out more efficiently, but I think leaving's the right decision. But it's just the height of Trumpian hypocrisy to attack Joe Biden for something that he himself was doing and he himself admitted would lead to this exact outcome. Donald Trump, and this is from June. This isn't from when Trump was president. This is at one of Trump's recent crazy rallies that he's been having all over the country, where he's still basically pretending to be president. He said this weeks ago, not months ago or years ago, weeks ago. I know that this will lead to the collapse of a country, but it's a decision we have to make as a country. And so it's totally unfair and hypocritical for him to go forward and blame Joe Biden for this, right? Like, let's be real. Trump knew this. And if anything, guys, we have to realize that it would have been the same situation under Trump, maybe even worse, and certainly more expedited. Because don't forget, when Biden a few months ago announced that in the fall the U.S. would be leaving Afghanistan, Donald Trump said, "Why is it taking so long? When I was president, I promised we'd be out before the summer. Why is Joe Biden wasting these extra 6 months, these extra 5 months, 4 months, whatever, to get people out? He should be doing it right now. If I was president, we would be doing it right now." And so if anything, it would have been even more disorganized, more haphazard, more putting Americans and their allies at risk, and it wouldn't have achieved anything different. Look, I don't think it's fair to blame this on any one president. This really is a bipartisan generational failure. And a lot of people going all the way back to the early 2000s need to reckon with the fact that they supported something that could have never been won and was an unnecessary loss of human life on so many sides. Barbara Lee, the only congressperson, she was the only one to vote against this war, and she was right, and she's still right today. No one deserves praise here. Not Biden, not Trump, not Obama, not Bush. None of them deserve praise. But certainly, Donald Trump doesn't deserve to get on a high horse when he knew what would happen and now is trying to change his tune.